newsflash. There's some things I need to get off my chest about this fashion month and fashion in general at the moment. On the runways, we were binded, our faces were hidden, we were given dicks but no bras. As a woman, a journalist, and this quasi-creator that I guess I am, I've been feeling sidelined lately, or unseen, or underappreciated. There's been all these feelings of like negativity in my heart that I don't like to harbor because I don't want it to come through in my work, but I feel the need to share. Something has happened in fashion as of late, activating these feelings of not belonging. And if I'm feeling that, I've been in the industry for quite a while now. I have contacts and relationships and a resume. I still feel this way. I can't imagine how others are feeling. And I find this experience is quite specific to being a woman. I knew that this would happen given all the changes, but just seeing what went down the runways for the most part this fashion month, there's just a lack of a female point of view. I don't see myself in so many of the clothes that are being presented. I look at the context and the climate and just the fact that you have these designers like Virginie Viard at Chanel previously and Maria Grazia Chiuri at Dior previously, two of the biggest houses. Whether you liked their work or not, they were symbols, right? They were figureheads. Female creatives at the very top, that's gone now. I'm not saying that the work of Mathieu Blazy and Jonathan Anderson isn't incredibly creative and inspiring and gorgeous and enticing, but there's this overall feeling like something is missing. I try to do my part to highlight female designers, to wear female designers as much as I possibly can, but I gotta say, it's disheartening when you don't feel that female perspective coming through in the work nearly enough. And it's not just like, for example, when Karl Lagerfeld was at Chanel, Virginie Viard was his right hand right below him. And if you go watch that documentary on YouTube, Signé Chanel, you can see in the atelier, he was surrounded by women. You could really feel that female perspective in the House of Chanel. There's a lot of men with an eye for beauty making beautiful things, and it's not to take anything away from that, but the work resonating with me on a deeper level as a woman, as an owner of a female body who has to live in that body and dress it on the daily, it's making me a bit sad to feel like so much has changed. And it's not just the female designers that there's not enough of, it's also the female voices. When I look at the fashion journalists and reporters and writers that have mentored or inspired me, it's people like Bridget Foley, Vanessa Friedman, Kathy Horn, of course, Lauren Sherman these days at Puck, what an incredible reporter. My mentor, Bronwyn Cosgrave, who's a veteran fashion journalist, Samantha Conti, Louisa Zargani, Robin Gavin, of course. There's so many. My media diet of the type of people that inform me on what's happening in the industry, it's mainly women, okay? And then I come on here and I try to, be my little racehorse and just stick with what I have to say and my vision and not look side to side of what's going on. But when I am privy to what's going on beside me, when I'm at the shows or when my algorithm decides to give me more of that, there's a lot of male voices that I don't know, I guess there's a patriarchal structure to the algorithm too, are really being pushed forward, many of which I know and really enjoy, but they're picking apart women's appearances on the red carpet. They don't have any idea what it takes to get dressed. Those of us women who have gone to black tie or red carpet functions before, you know that how much pressure goes into that, even when you're just a normie, right? The days that you spend doing all the treatments and all the things, and then the hours that you spend getting ready only to be eviscerated publicly. I don't want to any longer participate in this culture where I'm just like critiquing what people wear on the red carpet. It makes me feel very empty inside, and it seems to be this male dominated space that I don't want to participate in that anymore. It really has to do with exposure, experience, paying one's dues. I think it's so amazing how fashion is a space where gay men can really thrive and be themselves and bring their unique eye and taste to the table. Having actual experience, having people that you've worked with and under and learned from, having a real education, and education can take different formats. It doesn't have to mean journalism school or fashion school. I didn't go to fashion school or journalism school, and I've guest lectured at both of them on numerous occasions. I mean, anyone can have a platform on here, but it doesn't mean that you have to give everyone a platform or weight everyone's opinion the same. And I think as women, it's hard for us to sometimes assert our opinions in the same way. Mediocre white men are experts at this. They will enter loads of spaces with just oodles of confidence and the ability to get their point across in a way that seems to elicit feelings of authority. And I think sometimes as women, I know I've done this in the past, I try not to show up this way here. We kind of tiptoe around what we're trying to say, or we're concerned about offending people, or we're trying to take a more like mindful, thoughtful approach. We maybe don't feel like we have as much freedom or jurisdiction to just shoot purely from the hip. That is the approach I try to take. And I don't want to make this just a rant. I guess what I'm asking from you, from my audience, if you could continue to help support this work by engaging with it. I want to, and my goal for next season is to really make sure that I have a seat at the table. And by that, I mean the shows, that I'm at more fashion shows, that I have more of a presence. It isn't always an environment that I love being in. I'll be honest, it's incredibly political, it's difficult, it's costly, but at the same time, I just feel that there's a lack of female representation there. It seems like the role for women who are in this like content creator space is to be seen but not heard, to put on the total look and to be like a sandwich board for a brand, but to actually be expressing opinions and to be sharing and contextualizing real issues and to be engaging in a real dialogue and conversation. That's what I want to do, and that's what I'm trying to do here. But I need your help because I sometimes feel like I'm just a little bit out here on an island. I know there's some other women on here that are amazing. We all do support each other, but I think we're being drowned out slightly, and I don't understand why that is. I mean, we're the ones that all this shit is for, okay? We're the ones driving all the sales. It's us. Why are we giving away so much of our power to men? I'd like to stop that right now. And if you are a woman, I think it's really important that you control your media diet and that you make sure that it's not just an echo chamber of similar voices, because that's really not what it's about. Okay, I hope this doesn't get me into trouble, but at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck. I am here for you. I'm Moshe Lens from Halbert, and that wraps your news, Fash.